Thank you, sir. And now, a resource person herself, and she keeps on traveling to make teaching, community, and fraternity better, education leaders wiser, and she is always there in and for education cause. And she is none other than highly respected Nalini Asthana ma'am, and she keeps on making us wiser and better. Over to respected Nalini Asthana ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Namaskar to everyone. Globally, it's a friendship day, so we are the friends who are trying to bring the change in the community, in the society. And I really highly respect each individual who is doing his or her bit to bring the change in the society. That is the best thing which we can bring forth. And I really thank Nahid sir for giving me the opportunity to speak. And the biggest power and gratitude goes to none other than Akash sir, who has always made us together to talk about the best practices of life, not only education, not only of any other thing, but not about growth, not about personality, but for the best practices of life to become a human being in a humane manner. So, as the topic says, grow your career, business, and leadership. Growth does not happens by chance. And the example was Rajput sir, though he left, but I would quote that. And it happens when vision is supported by learning, courage, consistency, and purposeful action. And this is always advocated by Rania Lampu. Always she talks about this. So, once again, a hearty welcome to all the people gathered here. And it is a privilege to address you all on the topic of career growth, business, and leadership. In the past, success was happened measured by qualification, job titles, years of experience, and size of an organization where you are working. Today, the meaning of success has changed and has evolved multifold. We live in an age where knowledge is expanding rapidly, technology is transforming, and new opportunities are emerging every day. Therefore, growth is no longer about merely moving forward, it is about becoming more capable, adaptable, innovative, and impactful. Career, business, and leadership may appear to be three different journeys, but they are closely interconnected with each other. A successful career requires leadership qualities. To grow a business needs a clear vision and a strong people behind that organization. And the example is none other than our Akash sir itself. Effective leadership demands continuous learning, resilience, and the ability to create value for the others. So, career growth is not only about receiving a promotion or earning a high salary, it is all about developing expertise, expanding and your perspectives, and becoming someone who can contribute meaningfully to the society. In today's professional world, qualification may open the first door, but skills, attitude, and adaptability determines how far we can progress. To grow our career, we must ask ourselves, what new skill do I need to develop? How can I remain relevant in the changing world? Am I only completing task, or I am creative also, or creating some values to the organization? What impact do I want to make through my work? So these questions are the relevant question if we are asking, and that is called self introspection. If we are doing that and then doing growing in our career, that is actual career growth. The most successful professionals are lifelong learners, as Yelena ma'am said. They keep learning. Until date, she is learning and she is talking about the same thing. I really salute her for this. They do not wait for change to force the to learn, but they prepare themselves before change arrives to them. So do not define your career only by position you hold. Define it by the values you create, the people you influence, and the positive difference you make in the society. I may not be an author of a book, but I am pretty sure I write here on people's heart. Yesterday's incident is there. I was in a CBSC CBP and I was conducting a session on art integration. When I started, the class was quite gloomy and people were talking about how and what all this is happening, why art integration is needed. And Nahid sir, Sanchita ma'am being the principal and Lohani sir being the principal of the schools, you people can understand what is CBP in India nowadays, how teachers are taking it. Okay, so it was a very gloomy kind of a situation, but the moment I started talking about from the very scratch, from the very first place of our life, our home and our kitchens, where we have started the skill development, where we have started doing the artistry, a temperament has grown. Where my mother taught me how to fold a handkerchief, where my mother asked me how to knead the floor. Those all incidents are related to our artistic temperament, isn't it? And sir, after the tea break itself, people were behind me going round and round asking, Ma'am, from where you get all these examples? I said, this is an experiential learning and passing you the same. I don't have any prescribed book or testimony to give you all, but whatever I have learned, I'm passing it to you all. That is the only way. And girls, this all you all are doing and you will be doing, you are just not aware of it. That you are doing art integration in every aspect. The security guard who saluted me and opened the gate for me and allowed my car to enter where there is no some such system of car entering in the gate, that is also an artistic behavior which has been taught by your leaders to that guard. Isn't it, sir? Nahid sir, with you, will you agree to it? Yes, of course. Thank you, Sanchita ma'am. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Loani sir. Exactly. These are the artistic behavior, and this is there in we all, and we have to just inculcate that. So I hope you all remember my story. How many of you remember my story? And I will continue with the story the same. The girl is still there. That girl is still there. And now this girl is grown up girl and she is now 18 to 20 years old. And now she has taken up a profession of a teacher. She enters the classroom every morning with all her lesson plans, books, and the warm smile as always. People call her with different names, ma'am, miss, this and that. But deep inside, she carries only one thing, that I am a learner and I will remain a learner. In the early years, she believed teaching means giving answers. She worked hard, prepared carefully, and wanted every lesson to be perfect. Yet one day, while speaking to a group of children from a marginalized community, a little girl asked, Ma'am, will education really change my life? And that question was a turning point in that teacher, from that girl to a teacher, the girl who has converted to a teacher. That evening, that teacher realized that personal growth is not measured by how much we know, but by how deeply we listen. From that day onward, she stopped teaching only from the textbook and she began to teach them from experience, empathy, and purpose. This girl kept on traveling. cities to villages to schools to countries and globally. She trained thousands and thousands of teachers. She guided thousands of parents, encouraged young learners, and embraced new ideas from foundation literacy to digital citizenship, from life skill to artificial intelligence in education. Every workshop became a classroom for her own growth, not only to enlighten those people. There were challenges, long journeys, sleepless nights, going without food, changing educational policies, working on the policies in a practical manner, and moment of self doubt whether I'll be able to reach there, whether I'll be able to teach them, whether I'll be able to bring the impact on them. And these all doubts always keep haunting her mind. But she discovered that growth does not happen when life is easy. It happens when we continue working despite of uncertainty and unknowingly going on and on and on. She understood then that the best version of herself was not created by the awards or the salaries or the titles or the applause she is receiving, but it will be created if she brings the impact in one single life it happens. And it was created through every child she encouraged, every teacher she empowered, every parent she listened to, and every day she chose to learn again and again. So her journey continues, sir. I hope, Nahi sir, you are enjoying my story. Yes. This girl continued her story, and not as a small girl, now she is a woman with a family who has arrived, but she didn't stop her personal growth or the professional growth. She kept on growing, kept serving, and kept becoming the best version of hers. The best version of hers, it was not found in a single achievement, let me tell you. It is built day by day through courage, compassion, and the willingness to keep learning. So, one day she heard a question from a teacher that, ma'am, will I be able to bring the change in children's life? I said, definitely, if you think that you can. And that day she tried to bring the change by talking to that teacher and said that I will try to help you not to grow as a teacher but to convert to you as a motivator. And sir, that happened. That teacher, the teacher the girl touched, was now a big known by for her motivational, as known as a motivational speaker. Second thing happened, that students whom she touched, they became top notch of India, working as IPS, IAS, doctors, engineer. To one of the student, when she came to know that he has achieved 16th position in IAS exam in 2017, 63rd position in 2017, she congratulated that boy that, Anurag, I'm very happy for you that you have become an IAS officer. And I really feel quite proud that I was your teacher. And the remarks she heard from that child, or the reward which she heard from the child, was heartwarming. He said, the reason to become an IPS is you, my teacher, who taught me 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 and 2 into 2 is also 4. And that is the reason I am here today. Otherwise, nobody was able to turn the stone this side. So these are the things, and this story will continue in our third episode as well. So here I am just stopping, taking a pause on the story, and the story will continue. I would just like to sum up with few things, which few top the sayings which is required to bring the change in life or growth to happen. Is the very basic thing is which I would like to talk about. The very first thing I will say, not the basic, but the very first thing is that am I audible? Thank you. Become valuable before you become visible. Okay? Become valuable before you become visible. So, what position do I want? As we mature, the question changes of what value can I create? And when we begin to lead, the question becomes how many people can grow in the presence of mind. If this is our thing, then only you can become a valuable person in the life. And we have the biggest example in our life, none other than our president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He began his journey with a very humble roots and faced several challenges. Yet he did not allow circumstances to define the boundaries of his dream. Through learning, perseverance, dedication, and he became a distinguished scientist and later our president. My heartfelt salute and gratitude to that man who brought the change in our country. I always appreciate his doing because he was a learner lifelong. And I really pray to Almighty that I should also get a death like him in between my people, in the gathering of my people, where I feel that I am being acknowledged. So I have presented, once I have presented, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I have presented one webinar in which I talked about inscribe before you describe. In the book, you can describe, but you can inscribe on the hearts and the minds of people. So, inscribe before you describe. This was the topic of my PPT by that time on the webinar. Then the second point is turn vision into values. Only if you are visionary won't work. You have to turn it into values. Every great business begins with a vision. But vision without action remains only a beautiful idea. And business, if you want to grow your business, not merely expanding revenue, increasing customers, or opening new branches will not work. Sustainable business growth is about identifying a need, offering a meaningful solution, and building a relationship rooted in trust. What Mr. Akash Babat is doing. Example is right in front of us. Uh, Even we can talk about Kiran Majumdar Shah, the founder of AWAKEN. She entered the biotechnology sector at the time when the field was unfamiliar to many people. And then she brought the opportunity, entrepreneurship with very limited sources, but she did that. So there are many such examples like that. Then move from authority to influence. Leadership is not about having a chair. And Mr. Lohani, Mr. Raza, and Sanchita Bhattacharya is facing this dance every day as principal. I can very well guess it out. Yes, your chair is very hot and nobody sees the thorns in it. The thorny cushion which is laid there under it, I can only understand because I have been both side of the table. So I can understand. So it is not a title, it is not a power, but it is a responsibility which you three of us, you are doing every day. So leadership is the ability to create clarity in uncertainty where nothing is working, you work. You make your team work. You give the courage in difficulty and confidence to others to work better and better. And with your putting the gun on your shoulder, everybody says, मैम तो है ना, सर तो है ना, सर करवा लेंगे. मेरे प्रिंसिपल ने कहा है, and that statement is complete. Later the principal will be hanged till death, no worries, but मेरे प्रिंसिपल ने कहा है. And this happens. And in our community, the biggest example was Ratan Tata, if you remember, the man who has influenced thousands and thousands of life post his death also. He's not there, but still he did. Then the courage to begin again. And the example was Mr. Rajput in our community. He talked about from engineering to pharmaceutical. He's not there to listen all this, but still I will quote him. So it is like that, the courage to begin again and start, and the power of growth mindset. If we have that, then only we can change the world. A growth mindset changes not only the language, not only the society, but the entire human community. Instead of saying, I cannot do this, if we teach people that you can learn and do it, try. You can try. Just try. It looks difficult, but it is not that difficult. And we, the ladies of India or ladies of anywhere, we are in habit of turning the stone from this side to that side. One small loop is converted into a big pullover within nights, 2 nights or 3 nights, isn't it? A small little loop. When we start knitting, we start with one loop and we make it a big, full, complete dress for the person. So, sixth powerful principle of sustainable growth is learn continuously, build your personal brand with authenticity, not here and there. And third, build relationship, not just network. Number four, embrace change with courage. Number five, lead with EI, emotional intelligence, and serve through self, and then create growth beyond yourself for everybody who is attached with you. So, with these words, I will just end my topic, or I will sayings, and grow your career with competency, grow your business with courage, grow your leadership with compassion, and grow your legacy by helping others to rise and grow. Thank you so very much, Naik sir, Akash sir, and everybody present here. Thank you so very much for listening me so carefully.
Nalini ma'am, you were spellbound. We were failing to blink our eyes. The way you were narrating. In first episode, I understood the story. Second, I understood it more. And I know that girl. You can understand my comprehension power. Right. And the way you have been going into detail, it shows your leadership skills. The way you express with empathy and emotions, again very crucial and important part of leadership. And the way you have been building these stories, because you are resource person yourself, and you take things from very simple way. And I'm very confident that you are training teachers in Delhi and NCR, so we can understand the potential you have. Still, you are very humble, very polite. It is your strength. It makes you different, ma'am. So my sincere gratitude to Nalini, ma'am, for being so articulate, for being so humble, and at the time to engage all the speakers in her talk and conversation. She had made her talk into conversational ways. So, sincere gratitude, Nalini ma'am, and please keep coming to this platform for our wisdom and betterment. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Surely, sir. Surely, sir. And it is my
And
duty to keep my people aware that what I am talking. Otherwise, half of the people leave the show and go. So those who are there, they should feel connected. That is our duty. So thank you so very much,
yes,
sir. And thank you,
that is
Akash, sir.
our duty. That is our duty, and we must appreciate Yelena, ma'am.
Yes.
She was in the beginning. She is in the middle. She is very enthusiastic educator.